The situation in Sudan is currently complex and multifaceted, with the country witnessing an ongoing internal conflict for several months, in addition to major humanitarian and economic challenges. Here is an overview of the most prominent developments. Armed conflict. Sudan is witnessing an armed conflict between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces, which has resulted in a large number of civilian casualties and the displacement of millions. Humanitarian crisis. The conflict has led to a severe humanitarian crisis, with millions of Sudanese suffering from a lack of food, medicine and basic services, and the crisis has been exacerbated by waves of displacement and displacement. Floods and torrents. Sudan has been exposed to catastrophic floods and torrents that have exacerbated the humanitarian crisis, destroying many areas and agricultural crops. Mediation efforts. Many countries and international organizations are making efforts to stop the fire and facilitate dialogue between the warring parties, but no solution has been reached yet. Deteriorating economic conditions. The conflict and floods have led to a sharp deterioration in economic conditions, high inflation rates and a shortage of basic commodities. The most prominent challenges facing Sudan. Preserving civilians. Protecting civilians from violence and providing them with humanitarian assistance. Ceasefire. Reach a permanent ceasefire and allow humanitarian access to all affected areas. Political dialogue. Launch a comprehensive dialogue between all Sudanese parties to reach a political solution to the crisis. Reconstruction of the country. Reconstruction of areas affected by conflict and floods. Addressing the economic crisis. Taking urgent measures to address the economic crisis and provide basic services to citizens. Causes of the humanitarian crisis. Armed conflict. As I mentioned, the ongoing conflict between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces is the main driver of the crisis. This conflict has led to destruction of infrastructure, making it difficult for humanitarian aid to reach the affected areas. A large-scale displacement, increasing the burden on host communities. Spread of fear and instability, preventing people from returning to their homes. Economic collapse. The conflict has led to a sharp deterioration in the Sudanese economy, leading to high rates of inflation and shortages of basic goods, and making it more difficult to obtain food and medicine. Floods and severe weather conditions. The humanitarian crisis has been exacerbated by recurrent floods and droughts, which have destroyed crops and caused food shortages. Implications of the humanitarian crisis. Deaths. Conflict and difficult humanitarian conditions have led to increased mortality rates, especially among children and the elderly. Malnutrition. Millions of Sudanese suffer from malnutrition, especially children, which threatens their lives and development. Diseases. Infectious diseases have spread due to poor sanitary conditions and lack of clean water. Displacement and displacement. The conflict has displaced millions of Sudanese, increasing pressure on host communities. Impact on education. Many schools have been forced to close, depriving children of education. Efforts to mitigate the crisis. Humanitarian aid. Many international and regional organizations are making efforts to provide humanitarian aid to those affected, including food, medicine and shelter. Political negotiations. Diplomatic efforts are underway to achieve a ceasefire and facilitate dialogue between the warring parties. Civil society responses. Sudanese civil society is contributing to providing aid to those affected. Challenges facing relief efforts. Access. Humanitarian organizations face difficulties in reaching affected areas due to insecurity. Underfunding. More funding is still needed to meet the massive humanitarian needs. Coordination. Better coordination between different actors is needed to deliver more effective aid. Finally, the humanitarian crisis in Sudan requires an urgent and comprehensive response from the international community, governments, and humanitarian organizations. All stakeholders must work together to stop the violence, provide humanitarian assistance, and build peace and stability in Sudan.